Well, this is about my 5th attempt at testing this camera, and I was going to show you a machine vise, a nice grinding vise that I purchased used on eBay. It was built by a machinist, I would imagine a tool and die man, or a jig boring, or a grinding, surface grinding. Beautiful a vise with a kind of a different kind of locking device on it. It was like a rack upon a rack, and one rack disengaged from the other rack, and then you move the jaw in, and then when you tighten up the screw, the rack would make contact with each other, and that would lock the jaw. And of course the beauty of that is that you didn't have a big gap between one setting and another setting. It was very close together. I was going to show you that, but unfortunately the videos that I didn't come out very well, and I actually realized that by mistake I'd put one of my wife's t-shirts on that had a kind of a pattern up the top there, so I was kind of embarrassed about that. So I decided, well, I've got the vise. What I'll do maybe is I'll take a picture of the vise and include that in with the video. I've got the vise attached to the milling machine because I was showing another feature of how to square up any kind of a block on all 6 faces and make it square, as long as the vise that you were using was in pretty good condition and nice and square. But that'll have to be another time. So anyway, I worked back in the, I guess the middle 80s. I worked at a cancer foundation, a research foundation here in Canada, and we worked in the medical devices, and we worked as part of the physics department, and we also did repair work and improvements on $1 million machines, X-ray machines. We also did that as well, so it was a nice, very nice job. I was there for 18 years, and it was tiled floor and white coats, and cleaner came in every night and cleaned the floors, and beautiful machinery, 2 hard-inch tool-room lathes and Acieras and Famcos and Lagoon, that kind of stuff, Harrison, and a not a South Bend, I can't remember the name now. Anyway, getting to the point, while I was there I purchased the drawings for George Thomas's versatile dividing head, and I thought, well, I'd really like to build that, but I didn't buy any of the castings. The only thing I bought were the gears, the worm gears, and so I kind of built the design around George Thomas's, but I improved it, I figure, for my purposes anyway. I thought I'd make it a little bit larger, because at that time I had a Drummond lathe, and that was a 3.5 inch centre height, And anyway, I had a nice 4-inch chuck that I wanted to use on the versatile dividing head. The original plans I don't think were big enough for 4-inch. I think it was set around a 3-inch chuck, I think. It's been a long time now. This is back in the 80s. Anyway, I'll start on the dividing head first. This is the body and the division plates, and the body was actually a big chunk of aluminium, a big block of aluminium that had a hole going through it, and I believe it was 1 inch diameter. And I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it here, but anyway, it was sitting there and it was available. So I thought, wow, if I turn up, oh, it's bigger than 1 inch. Oh, it may be, oh, it's 2 inch. 2-inch hole in it. So anyway, what I did was I turned up a plug and Loctited it into the block before doing any machining, and that allowed me to use this chunk of metal. And so what I did was I built it in the same shape and form as George Thomas's, but just a bigger. I had a bunch of another job that I worked. They had auto machines, and they used these hard-inch, I think they're called a F3, I'm not sure. They had these collets, and once they got worn out to any particular degree, in the auto feed machines, they used to throw them into a tin box, and there was a whole pile of them there. So I picked up a whole pile of these from, oh, I don't know, from 1/16 up to 1/2 inch, I think is the biggest one I have. But then I have square ones and I have hexagonal ones as well. So anyway, that was the start of what I wanted to do. I wanted to use all these collets, and I wanted to use this chuck to be able to screw it on. So what I did was I managed to get hold of a insert for these collets, a brand new hardened insert. So that was the first thing that I had to work around, was the outside diameter, and also an insert for this sleeve. It's a perfect fit for the collets, you know. So that's what they, I mean, even the I guess even the spindles on the autos, they used to get worn as well from the continual in and out movement, and so they bought these sleeves already made, and they were just perfect. So I got hold of one of those, and that's what I have in there. I hope you, I've messed around with this camera again, so I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see all this. I'm trying to speak a bit louder so that the sound will be better. So what I did was I made this body to suit the spindle, to suit the collets, and to suit the Myford M type, or Drummond M. Well, I guess it's a Myford really. They took them over after the war. So anyway, I hope you can see this. I built this. This is all stainless steel. I machined that, and it's I can take this out. I can take this collet system away, and I can put come on, come on. I could have made this thread shorter on the drawbar, and it goes in there, you see, and it's a real nice fit. It goes in there, and then of course the drawbar comes in, and then I used to be able to take stuff off the lathe, still in the chuck, and wind it on here, and of course I could continue doing what I was doing. So that's the situation with that. I see some of these videos on the YouTube, and it seems like the people are larger, and the videos are clearer, and I don't know. I have no idea really. I'll get there, I guess. Anyway, this is the back end of the dividing head, and so I engraved all the numbers. There's 24 holes around there for simple dividing. And then of course you've got the worm engaging on the gear there, and that gives you I guess a more sensitive dividing. I don't know whether it's not really compound, I don't think. And so I made all this. I got two dividing plates with 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 rows on each dividing plate. So there's plenty of variety there, and this is all stainless steel. That's that. Now this unit here, I don't know if you can see it, I hope you can. This unit here is another worm and gear which turns this division plate, and according to George Thomas, this is overkill. I have no doubt about that. I don't think you'd ever find a dividing head that has this feature on it. You may do, but it's very, very limited. This unit here, when you undo that, you can turn, and it's indexed 100 per revolution, and that, apparently, according to George Thomas, will enable you to divide 1 degree into 1,000 parts. So I'm not that clever that I can work it all out, but according to George, I believe, he said that it would do that. So another feature was that when you pull this out and move it in a clockwise direction, I got it undone. When you move it in a clockwise dimension, the pin always stays out, because it drops into a notch. So when you're turning it in clockwise direction, it's not like some of the dividing heads that are on the in manufacturing. If you're not careful, it pops back down and you start damaging the holes, and the pin gets bent and it doesn't engage properly anymore. So anyway, I'm gonna carry on and tell you about how I got hold of this three-jaw chuck. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with Kitagawa. It's a Japanese company. Make very high precision equipment, and I was in the shop one day and guy comes in and he says, anybody interested in this? And it's a 4-inch Kitagawa. Now I've priced these out, you can still get them. It's got the inside jaws and the outside jaws. I've priced these out, and to buy one of these new now is about $900. It could be even more now. You can see that drill bit in there. That's a number 60. So I think it's a very fine 3-jaw, and the only reason I kept it is because I wanted to use it on there maybe, or that I may at one time use it on the mill. Can't use it on the lathe, it's too big, but on the mill I could use it. Kind of makes me wonder sometimes, because it's hard to let go of things. I got CNC on the mill, I sometimes wonder whether I'm doing the right thing in keeping this chuck. But the trouble is, people want you to give it to them, you know. You put it on eBay and they come up with silly figures, so I'm just going to keep it, I think. Anyway, I think it's about time I could switch this off now and check this video to see if there's any improvement. I've changed the what's it called? Oh boy, I've changed this something from 8 down to 6 down to 3, I think it is, and I got an idea that's something to do with the focus. I'm actually, while I'm showing you this stuff, I'm probably about 1 foot, that's about 1 foot away from the lens. So if anybody can give me any ideas of what the hell I'm doing, I'd appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to check this thing now. Thank you.